Farming Simulator is full of mods that change the way you play the game. Whether it's something super realistic or very unrealistic, Farming Simulator's got something for every playstyle. I love mods that change the way you play the game, so we're going to take a look at some of my favorites for all platforms. I'll be breaking them down into 4 categories: vehicles, tools, placeables, and scripts. Some of the mods include things that are in different categories, so I'll be including them where I think they fit best. Timestamps are linked in the description, so let's check them out. First, in vehicles, we have the Fenvario 4th Street Edition pack. This is from Chris S. and Riley S., a name you'll probably hear a couple times today. It includes 3 tractors, modified versions of the Fendt 1000, 700, and 200. Now, one of the great things about this is it includes engine options all the way up to 2,000 horsepower. Not only that, they also have some super high friction tires, which is great, and we have Pro Grip as well. So if you wanted to use these as situations where you need tons of grip, you could do that. They also include other things like a winch, and as you saw in the intro, all gold. And did I mention that the 2 larger versions have a 5,000 horsepower engine? Yeah, you're gonna be going fast, baby. One of the great things is you can make these tractors as realistic or unrealistic as you want, with multiple engine options, wheel brands, setups, and more tons of customization options. You can make them look however you want and perform however you want. Another one from Chris and Riley, the Lizard Colossus pack. This is the original, oh my goodness, that's super unrealistic pack. It includes tons of different things and different items. It was really hard to place this, so we just kind of put it second. This is another one of those mods where you can make it realistic-ish if you want to, but unrealistic is definitely where it shines. With capacities of 2.5 million liters on the beet harvester. Not only that, but it also supports all of the vegetables in the game, up to a 50-meter working width. Oh yeah. And you can even add unrealistic crop guidelines, just so you see where you're going. This is also included with the other mods in the pack as well, like the Combine Harvester with a 2.5 million liter capacity, engines up to 3,000 liters, and more. Not to mention the headers, which also run at 45 miles per hour and will go 50 meters. And this is also in the corn headers as well. But you've got more in here. A forage harvester, which runs, well, all of the crops you would expect. A mower header for that. Again, 50-meter working width. You've even got stuff for running poplars and sugarcane, cotton harvester, mowers, tedders, balers, wrappers, which are extremely fast, by the way. Even the stationary baler, trailers, fertilizer spreaders. These are my favorite fertilizer spreaders to use. You got a subsoiler here, which will run at 50 meters with like 25 horsepower required. Beet trailer and loading wagons. This pack has it all. And if that's a little much for you, well, maybe the Lizard TARDIS from Omatana is the way to go. This, as well, is unrealistic, and you'll be seeing that quite a bit here. This also includes multiple different things, but not as many. It's more centralized and located. We're using modified version of base game things here as well, just like the previously mentioned mods. The Combine Harvester may not be too wild and crazy, but still holds 200,000 liters. So it's kind of dipping your toe into the unrealistic times. You've also got some pretty fun colors in here, different wheel brands, and as well, we have a loading wagon. Now, this doesn't hold 5 million liters, but it does hold 260,000. A water trailer, which holds all of your liquids in there. You've also got tipper trailers here, which holds 200,000 liters. Headers, which will run at 15 miles an hour. Getting choked up. It's so exciting. And we've even got corn headers, and one of them does poplars. Yes, you can harvest poplars with a Combine Harvester. Lizard TARDIS is a fun mod. Now we make our way into tools, and Chris and Riley are back with their Kinsey 4095 Multi-Fruit Planter Pack. This is another one where you can make it kind of mild to wild or absolutely insane. We also have rollers and mulchers, which could be connected to the front of your tractor as well as the rear of this, making it where you can mulch, roll, and seed and fertilize everything all in one go. And I really mean everything. The multi-fruit planter Unrealistic, for example, will do everything. All the stuff, wet rice, dry rice, all of your crops, planter things, cedar things, sugarcane, potatoes, poplars, all the stuff. Of course, we have a 50-meter Unrealistic working with here as well, so that's pretty cool. But one of my favorite things is you can change up the brands. It's not unrealistic, but you know what? It's still pretty darn cool. There's also wild capacities. You've got seed only 50,000 liters seed, 25,000 fertilizer, and then you could go seeds only unrealistic 100,000 liters, or you go 100,000 or 150,000 seed, 75,000 fertilizer. It's got it all, plus plenty of colors. So this is one of those where you could take it. You can even make this a versatile if you want to. Change your versatile colors up, save those to your color palette, add them to it, boom. You're done. Oh, and the invisible roller and mulcher can also be used independently. So if you wanted just a 50-meter roller or 50-meter mulcher that requires 0 horsepower, well, they exist. BB Mods has also made their way into the tools market with tons of things. The Round Balers Plus, Square Balers Plus, Pro Bale, the AgriFlex, and Custom Bale Sport Pack. All of which, and some of which, also support things from other packs. Like the Colossus, which will support things as well. It's insane. The Square Balers Plus and Round Balers Plus are pretty cool. They include modified versions of base game Square Balers in here, and we can also make extremely high capacity bales, making things kind of easy for you. So they start at 1.5 times the normal capacities, which is pretty cool. And then you can also increase them to 3 times, 5, 7, and 9. So if you've got a square baler that makes a 10,000 liter bale, for example, well, this would make that 10,000 liter bale a 90,000 liter bale, but in the same size. It would need to be picked up though. In a similar token, the Round Balers Plus mod basically does the exact same thing, except for round balers. And you can see this one even wraps them for you, which is fantastic. 1.5, 3, 5, 7, and 9 times. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's not all, because there's also a couple other balers which are in separate packs. We got the Lizard Pro Bale, which includes Pro Bale, and the Quick Pro Bale. These include pit widths, obviously, of regular, 5, 10, and 15 meters. So that is very, very cool. You've also got different decals. So I like customizing things. I think this is fun. So you don't have to make this unrealistic if you want. If you just wanted an Agco baler, you can rock with it, and it's cool. Bale wrapping can be turned on and off with here. We also have rear hitches, which can be added, and the unrealistic bale sizes here as well. Very cool, very, very cool. And the Quick Pro Bale does the exact same thing at, well, just about double the speed, 24 miles an hour. And if you wanted a self-propelled version of something like that, well, you've got the AgriFlex SPB, self-propelled Baler Man. Oh yeah! This one's nice because it has a front 3-point which could be mounted, and this is great to be used with the Colossus mower. Get a 50-meter mower, or my favorite, the 25-meter. I think that's more than enough. Put that on the front, and you can make bales all day long. Standard 1.5, 3, 5, 7, and 9, of course. As you can tell, BB Mods has made his way into the baler market. Now, to pick everything up, you are going to need the Custom Bale Sport Pack, also from BB Mods. His mods also work with other mods as well. They work really well with the Colossus stuff. So if you need to pick up your unrealistic square bales or round bales, which, by the way, you will need different trailers for those. Universal Auto Load does work, but that is PC only. And including this, the cotton tag trailer right here. This will pick up round bales from your Colossus pack, which is fantastic news. Also, if you need to wrap them, you've got a round bale wrapper and a square bale wrapper as well. You get all of these together. If you like doing bales, goodness gracious, you cannot go wrong with any of these. The next tool is the tractor swathing mod. Now, this mod is pretty cool, and it is the first swathing mod to be released for all platforms if you don't have the Macdon pack. And you would think, okay, well, that's not unrealistic. Well, what's unrealistic about this? Hooks up via 3-point, not a header, doesn't hook up with the Macdon at all. So this just hooks onto the front of your tractor, and you can rock through there. But the thing that makes it unrealistic are the working widths. You've got a 10.7 and 13.7 meter working width, and you can change up the markers here to be whatever you like. You've got a main color, design color, and accent color, and the design color or accent color can be used to color this. For example, I got accent color here. We'll change it up to orange. Boom. Orange. But we also have this guy right here. This, after you have swathed with the tractor swather, you can pick up with a loading wagon, any loading wagon. So you can pick up that swath. So like your soybean swath, for example. Pick it up off the ground with a loading wagon, a real one. And then just come over here and dump it in this production chain, and it will take your soybean swath. It'll split it up into soybeans and straw. Oh yes, it keeps the straw. And and you've got tons of capacity here for everything. If you were wanting to do swathing and you don't have the Macdon pack currently, at least when I'm recording, this is the only way to do that, and well, it's my favorite. I mean, you can pick up a swath with a loading wagon. Come on. And yes, it does work with the Macdon. So you can use the Macdon and then pick it up with a loading wagon. That's fine too. The last tool on our list is the Herdsman's Stick. This one is from Mr. Hector, and I love it. What this allows you to do is collect 200 animals, whether they be cattle, pigs, sheep, or even horses. Yes, you can transport 200 horses with this thing. Normally with the animal dealer, you can come up, select the animals that you want to move to whichever pen, and then move them. However, that does charge you a little bit of a price. Animal transport trailers are cool, but they only move a few animals at a time, and it can take a little while. That's where the Herdsman's Stick comes into play. Simply grab it and hold it, walk into the area, and now we can move all of our animals over. So we've got our limousine cattle here. You can see Herdsman's Stick 200, and you can put them in here. It's kind of like come on cows, let's go this way. You get it? All right, yeah, you get it. All right, let's move on. Alrighty, let's talk placeables. And we can't talk placeables without saying government subsidy sign. This has been around since Farming Simulator 19, I believe, from Realistic modding. Actually, the creators of the Seasons mod. Fun enough. This is technically a generator because it does generate income, and we can customize it to either make $4,000 a month, $40,000, $400,000, or $4 million a month. This is really nice for console players that just want a little bit of cash that can't simply hit the power tools or easy dev commands. There you go. Very simple, very easy. This is also a great way to just get a little bit of extra cash. Maybe get the $4,000 one and put it down and just leave it, and you get a little bit of income without having to really do anything. Did I mention they're free? Yeah, they're free. Next, we have the Silos Multifruit from Omatana. She also made the TARDIS pack. This was one of the first silo mods to come out for Farming Simulator 25, and as far as I'm concerned, has not been topped yet. This holds everything, bulk crops and stuffs, liquids as well. Oh yes, it has a 10 million liter capacity, which is absolutely insane. Not only that, but you've got a regular version, which I don't know if you know, but Farming Simulator 25, some things you really don't need a silo extension anymore for some stuff. You can just put down a regular silo. However, it has a no-share version as well. So if you've got a production chain close by or something like that, and you don't want it interfering, put down the no-share. Not only that, you can change the color. You've got full custom color setup support, and you can even make a black one. I think that looks pretty darn cool. These are epic. I mean, 10 million liters. Come on. Another placeable that I think is very handy. This isn't for storing. This is for getting and also selling in a way. The Multifruit Buying Station from 82 Studio. Oh, yeah. These can be found in containers. You've got one version that is discounted. One setup, which is a very realistic setup for buying. And then you've got a place over here for buying pallets and things like that. So it's pretty darn cool. It does have a 90% off map price setup. The 90% off version works really well with another mod that we're going to talk about a little bit later, seasonal prices. So if you're using that, using something like this, very handy. Basically, you're paying the map price for things. An easy way to find these, you're going to jump in, you're going to see your prices, and then in here, we're going to be seeing our Multifruit Buying Station. And you can see, to buy that, the map says it's going to cost you $1,268, which is a little bit more than what it would be selling for generally, but we're getting a little bit more money for all of the things we're selling currently. So, that's because of another mod. However, you may be seeing in the Multifruit Buying Station discounted, it is $564. Also, the Multi-Purpose Station also is $564. Now, that is not 90% of this, but that's because of how the game does it. Again, works really well with seasonal prices. We'll show you that later. One of the other really nice things about the version back here is it works also as a warehouse. So you could go through, buy the things that you could normally buy at the warehouse, and a few more things it looks like, and they will pop up over here. But when you're ready to sell some things, sell some pallets or dump some things off, maybe use this as a sell point and buy point, well, you could do that. It's basically 3 mods in one. not including these two. Now we also have an honorable mention. If you want something that's similar to these, but doesn't include the sell station, well, Omatana's also got the buying station multi-fruit mod, which includes quite a few different things, and it also includes little consumables areas right here, like seeds, fertilizer, things like that. You can even buy snow here if you wanted to. So very cool setup there. Again, Omatana's got one as well if you didn't want to download 82s. Along the same vein, but very different, very different indeed, the farm fill stations from Gaming Joy. Now, or GMNG Joy. These are also found right over here, same place in containers. However, well, it's got a free version. Now, these are split up into a couple different categories here. We've got multiple different ones. You've got field work fill stations, so things like, seeds, fertilizer, that kind of thing. You would buy that there. You've also got one for husbandry, so like TMR, pig feed. Also, water is available in there as well, and stuff for your sheep and horses and chickens. So you've got those. And then a liquid, so anything that is a liquid, you could buy. And then you've got your bulk. So anything that is a bulk, so it fits in a normal tipper trailer, that could be purchased as well. Now, the things that make this wild and crazy and very interesting, very interesting to me, is the free version. Everything's free. All consumables, all products in the game that are non-palletized are free with this mod. Oh, yes. See this? See this? Free bulk fill station for barley? Uh-huh. You can also buy it for $986 there, but it's free. $0. If you just want like free seeds and fertilizer and free TMR and free everything, just go with this. It makes the game so easy. There's no point in, if you don't want to farm, but you still want to have like, I don't know, 500 cows, just buy this. It's so simple. Oh, I love it. There's also some really cool livery options on here as well. So if we go in, you can make it a rusty setup if you wanted to. So cool. Another free mod is Yoss's Farm Pallet Shop. This is another very, very cool one. So you can come up here and get everything you need from like a warehouse setup, which is great news. But also, you can get them for free. Yeah. It's very nice. This is if you've got some productions and you want to run productions, but you don't want to have to pay for anything. Well, simply select the free pallet shop over in Tools. You can customize it to a size that fits your needs the best. Place it down, and you can buy everything for free, even strawberries. Strawberries never free. This thing's expensive. If you've seen any of my Let's Plays ever, you've probably seen me use this, the BGAFD. This includes a biogas plant. You've also got a fermenting silo and a dryer. Now, with these, we get 3 different versions. You get the basic setup, which is just a normal set. Then you get an improved, which kind of increases everything and, raises it up to 11. And then this raises it up to 100. This just takes it to the extreme, which is why it's called the extreme. Now, the BGA, the fermenter, and the dryer all have these different versions, and it makes things very, very easy. It's actually super easy to accidentally make a lot of money with this. So everything does exactly what you would expect. You've got your BGA, but you also have some new inputs, which makes things nice. You also have your dryer, which does one thing, but it does it really well. 10 million liters in and 10 million liters out. That's for the extreme version, because the other versions are fine, but the extreme's the one to go for here. And then your mixer, your fermenting silo here. Love this. You can make a bunch of silage. This is how I made like $60 million in a day over on my Riverbend series. You simply throw in a bunch of straw, for example, or some extra grass, and have it ferment into silage, and then it just sells the silage immediately. And then you can come in and take the digestate and sell that as well. Bam! These are just insane. Absolutely insane. They fit the bill of this video perfectly. As a matter of fact, these and the Colossus were the whole reason for the idea of the video to start with. Also, these mods are from Anthix. Forgot to mention that. The last placeable we're going to talk about is called Sell Everything. This is from Schultz Modding. And sometimes you just need a place to sell stuff. And this, well, it allows you to sell stuff. Everything, as a matter of fact. There are 3 versions here. One version with these crates behind it, or the containers, if you will. Then we have a small setup here and a large setup. You may also notice that they all have these as well, so we could sell logs at all 3 of these points, which makes things nice and easy. Pallets, liquids, anything that you've got. Matter of fact, I use these a lot. There's quite a few maps that I'll be playing on, and they may not have enough sell points. So I'll just place 1 or 2 of these down, maybe 1 or 2 of the larger ones, rename them so that, they have a new name to them, and then go from there. If you need a place to sell stuff, just buy these. They're like $1,000 as well. They're so cheap. Yeah, even the big one's $1,000. I mean, come on. Also find it extremely hilarious when you go in to sell it and it's like, do you want to sell everything container? Yep. Now's the fun stuff. The things that really change the game. Scripts. And we start with Yosmaning's liftable pallets and bales. This includes all base game pallets, big bags, and bales, which are now liftable. Oh yeah. So if you've got productions or animal pens that produce pallets, they will be liftable after installing this mod. Not only that, you can make bales, which are liftable. So you've got modified versions, all of the base game balers, which is very, very nice. It's also extremely helpful because we have up to a 24-meter working width on here as well, which is very, very nice. Again, multiple different things through here. It is real awesome being able to utilize this mod. Makes everything liftable. Also find it interesting that this is in here because these bales are liftable, but you got a 24-meter working width on here too. Wild and crazy. Again, it's so game-changing, especially for console players, being able to not have to worry when you get a pallet. You could pick it up. So anything that's on the map beforehand, before installing this mod, will not be liftable unless it is by default. There are some mods, to be fair, some balers, which can make liftable stuff. By the way, yes, even the cotton harvester bales, the 10,000 and 20,000 liter bales, those are liftable as well. Insane. Absolutely insane mod. Now we have Speed of Light. This allows console players and PC players as well to be able to run at the speed of light. So if you go for the yellow flashlight here and you buy that, you'll be able to run at 10 times the speed in game. Also, if you go with the 100 and you activate it, you'll be able to run at 100 times the speed of running in the game. And then you also have chainsaws in here too. Now, I wouldn't recommend running with a chainsaw. However, the chainsaw itself will run faster than a normal chainsaw. So you'll be able to cut the trees down even faster. So you will have to buy these, you have to equip them, but you'll be able to run faster and you'll be able to use a chainsaw faster. There you go. Pretty cool. Now we got to make our way into the mod hub to show off the last 3 mods because they all change the economy of your game. The first one is Harvest Profit. Now this one is very nice. Basically just gives you more for what you sell, which is great. This will give you more for your base crops. So productions in the base game, you are incentivized to make productions because they pay you a lot more than just selling the crop outright. So what this does is kind of balances that economy out. It's really nice. Then we get into seasonal prices. This changes the economy even more by adding more seasonal variations and price variations to crops in the game. So it supports forage, pig food, diesel, electric charge, methane, lime, fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, herbicide, silage, additive, and mineral feed. However, it does seem like there's other things as well that change and add different things. It seems like seeds, for example, change a little bit more than they would, even though it doesn't say anything about it here. Maybe that's just me saying it, but it adds pricing to these. So you will need to buy at a certain time. But the thing that makes this nice is that the max is usually what the game normally sells for. So you're actually going to find cheaper versions of these. So if you're using one of those multi-fill stations like 82 Studios, which I mentioned, having something like this allows you to buy even cheaper than you would. Pretty cool. But hey, if you're looking for Unrealistic, you just buy those things for free. And lastly, we have the Guaranteed Crop Prices mod from Disturbed Simulations. Well, this gives you the best price all year long, no matter what. And if you use this in combination With harvest profit and seasonal prices, you will find that things are great. Now, I have noticed a few things with seasonal prices and guaranteed crop prices make them a little bit more expensive to buy, but to sell, you will always be getting more money. So you get more money and then the best amount of money, no matter what. This is great. Absolutely love it. Disturb Simulations, I think, sent me over a copy of this pre-release, and I was able to utilize it a little bit. It was a lot of fun. So big shouty-outy to him for that. So do know that this is just the best. If you want things to be the way they were in FS19 or before, this is the best mod for that. Farming Simulator 22, they introduced Seasons into the game as base, and it was not near as good as Seasons mod was, at least the way that it handled the economy. And I still miss the Seasons mod. I miss it dearly. However, I don't think we're going to see that again. So if you want to just flat prices all year long, and you play with June or July set as your day of the year all year long, go with guaranteed crop prices. Or if you just want the best price no matter what, guaranteed crop prices. And there you go. Those are my favorite mods that change the way you play the game. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like if you did, get subscribed if you're new, and join the DjGoHam family. I'm sure you have your favorite game-changing mods, and they may be realistic or unrealistic. Hey, either one, let me know. If you got any questions, please drop those down below. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and we'll catch you in the next one.